In this video, I'm gonna share with you how I went from making $63 in my first year to having my first ever $1 million month. Now you might think it's because I started selling digital products or because I started scaling my ads or I exploded my audience, and you'd be partially right. I built a ton of automations in the last few years that have helped me sell my digital products very passively, and that has really allowed me to scale my business. But the real reasons that I'm hitting record-breaking months are: 1, I have gotten way faster at shedding negative energy in my relationship, in my friendships, amongst team members. If we feel a negative energy, and that, by the way, that can be with people, but it can also be with processes. I have a rule that's like, if it's hard, I don't do it. If it feels complicated, it's not right. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs really glorify working hard and the grind and the hustle. And I just haven't been able to even do that because I'm a single mama to a 3-year-old. I'm a full-time mama to a 3-year-old. And so I don't have bandwidth for hard. I don't have bandwidth for negative. I don't have bandwidth for anything that pulls me down. I just really don't even have the capacity for it because I have such little working time. I really only have a few hours every single week to work. And so if you aren't lifting me up, if you aren't supporting that, I just don't have space for that. And so on a very real level, what that has looked like in terms of just releasing negative energy is that it's removed a lot of anchors. And don't get me wrong, pretty much 100% of releasing like negative energy is very scary to do, right? Like going through my divorce, very scary, but very good. Letting go of certain team members, very scary, but very good. I'm very loyal. I like to keep everybody on board forever, but sometimes that's not the right move to do. Even like going all in on my low ticket digital product business was very scary to do because all my mentors were saying, you can't be very successful selling products for $27. And yet that's what felt good to me. That's what I wanted to do. And so it's never going to feel easy to release negative energy. The comfortable thing in the moment is always going to be to stay with that person or stay with that process or follow that path. But if it feels unaligned, if it feels hard, that is your screaming indicator that you need to release it. And so as we step into our new year, as we look at what we want to accomplish, I really think a big thing that I did well a few years ago was just make the decision that I am not going to allow negative energy into my life at all. And the result of that has been going from not making a lot of money to making a ton of money. 2, I have gotten way better at chasing that feeling of being uncomfortable. So I had my first ever event in October, and that was 350 people around there. And it was so scary. It was my first time ever on stage. And I just was so outside my comfort zone. I'm an introvert, so like a room full of 350 people is like overwhelming, but it was incredible. It was the most perfect event. We're doing another one next year and I just can't wait. And that was in October. And since October, I have been chasing that feeling of being outside my comfort zone. So I've spoken on even more stages. I've done a ton of in-person podcast appearances. We've launched a ton of products. I've done very cool, scary things in my personal life. And I'm chasing that feeling. And it's getting to the point now where I get bored or I get like, not even worried, but I just don't like the feeling of being comfortable. So like a day like today where I'm just doing a little bit of content creation, I wrote a few emails, like that's kind of a boring day for me now. And I'm chasing that feeling of being very outside my comfort zone. And I think the byproduct of that has been something like $1 million month. Like I'm obviously achieving way more milestones in my business because I'm refusing to stay in my comfort zone. And being really honest, I spent the first like 13 years of business just doing what was inside my comfort zone. There was a few moments here and there, very far spread out, but for the most part, I was pretty complacent. And now I'm realizing what a little hack it is, what a little unlock it is, what a little secret it is to just go outside your comfort zone, because not a lot of people are willing to do that. And so you get really exponential growth when you do that. So I'm like, oh my God, this is a little hack. I'm growing a lot faster doing this. So I better start. I shouldn't be comfortable. I'm trying to not ever be comfortable in my day-to-day. And that's been working really well for me. The other thing that's made a huge difference from me in my first year where I made $63 to a year like this where I had my first $1 million month is that I have gotten insanely good at guarding my time and specifically focusing on pretty much doing nothing. And what I mean by that is most entrepreneurs don't realize that 90% of what they think they should be doing are completely a waste of time and are not related to revenue at all. Meaning You could stop doing 90% of what you're doing in your business right now and make the same amount of money that you are. This goes for your marketing. This goes for your client delivery. This goes for pretty much everything that you're doing. And so what I have just done really religiously over the last year is stop doing things that are not related to revenue driving. And it looks like for example, like meetings. I don't do any meetings at all. I never have meetings. You won't ever find me on a Zoom call. I literally, if I ever have to be on a Zoom call, I have to like re-download Zoom and re-update it because it's been so long. And so the way I think about things is if I send one email to my list, I will make at least $30,000 at a minimum. So whatever you're asking me to do or whatever I feel like I need to do needs to make me more than $30,000. And very few things do that, which keeps me very focused on the few things that actually do drive revenue. And in case you're wondering, the majority of what I spend my time doing now is content creation, but it's also building automations to make more sales. If I spend an hour and I build an automation that adds an extra 10 sales per day to the orders that I get per day, that's a very good use of my time. That's something that's going to continue to make me sales day in and day out. And if you want help building automations like that, watch this video next.